Hi, welcome to this video that offers a small exploration of Tantric Breathwork. In the ancient practice of Tantra, the breath is honoured as a sacred doorway to vaster states of consciousness that we have the potential to know and to be. Unlike many breathing practices, it does not disconnect us from our bodies and take us beyond our body. It is not in denial of the body. Tantric breathwork is a very embodied, grounded experience that takes us into expansion from within, from an embodied place. Our breath is the first thing we do when we enter this world, the first thing we experience, and it will be the last thing we experience when we leave this body. Our breath is consistent and present throughout our lifetime. So in that, we can notice that the breath is our greatest tool. And when we add consciousness to it and truly allow the inhale and truly surrender to the exhale, the potential for healing and for growth and for knowing ourselves in a limitless, profound way is vast. There are many benefits to Tantric breathwork. Tantric breathwork supports us to be more embodied. It allows us to come deeper within our body and reconnect to our bodies in a beautiful and new way. When we drop down and into our bodies in this way and move back into our relationship with our breath, then our mind can have the space to come into quiet. And with that quietness, there is room for the mind to expand, to be not so limited to what it knows and open just a little bit more. In this, we start to notice our true nature. We start to notice habitual patterns, habitual behaviors that contract us rather than expand us, that limit us and keep us small rather than allow us into limitlessness. So it's a very embodied practice as we come into the inhale and we come into the exhale. As we play with Tantric breathwork, our inhale takes us into a deep relationship with our body. We notice the felt sensation of breath expanding within us. And as we exhale, we notice that we have a relationship with life, a connection with life and others around us. There's this beautiful harmony that happens with our inhale and our exhale. As we start to feel safe in this, then our nervous system begins to soften and soothe. And we can gift ourselves times of being at rest and being at ease in our bodies and being at rest and ease in life rather than always being in states of hypervigilance, fight and flight, and even freeze. As we move deeper into Tantric breathwork, we will start to notice this feeling of being breathed, that we are not the ones doing the breath. When we can trust that life is breathing us and life is exhaling us. Just as when we are asleep, we can bring that into our daily life. Tantric breathwork also offers the release of trauma and an emotional release. All those times in the past when the breath was not as accessible to us. We will have created a habit of breathing around that time, be that in our childhood or even in a recent moment. We would have gone into contraction in our body and therefore contracted around the breath. And therefore our breath would not be able to access our body fully so that we can breathe long, slow and deep. When we reconnect to our breath consciously in a practice such as Tantric Breathwork, we allow ourselves to re-access our breath. With that, we will feel an emotional release. Maybe an emotion that we wanted to express then, but it wasn't safe to. Or an emotion that we could not quite come to terms with and so suppressed. It will also release traumatic events where we contracted in our breath and in our body. So Tantric Breathwork has healing to it. And the healing is because it is in body and in breath. Then that which has kept us limited has space to grow us. So we notice that the patterns in our life start to begin to dissolve, or we start to notice that they don't quite fit, and we notice the weight of them, and that we want to try and adapt those, we want to meet those in a new way. So it gives us this beautiful relationship with really knowing who we are and really knowing who we are not. Tantric Breathwork is alchemy. It is healing, and it is also the possibility for growth and knowing ourselves as a consciousness rather than simply this flesh and these bones. It moves our sexual energy, and by moving the sexual energy, this is the alchemy. So we reconnect with love and sex, so they are not two separate things. They are one experience. In this is a transcendence, and that transcendence becomes a sexual maturity, a new sexual consciousness. And we come into this place of being a sexual being. There is nothing we need to believe in to explore Tantric Breathwork. It is not a religion. It is not a cult. It is not only for spiritual people. We all have our breath, and we can all take the time to notice and breathe with our breath in new ways for our own mental, emotional, physical and spiritual health. We do not have to believe in anything or practice anything other than simply being with this wonderful tool that we were gifted with as soon as we were born, the breath.